You can't fight someone who walks around at 12-3, boiling him down to 160. Before, you would have fought him at 157.
Fight him when you spoke to him.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said the fight isn't going to happen.
Would the public be interested in such a fight? Unfortunately, because promoters have been constantly rinsing the public with these fights, which actually are about names, not about abilities. So, they would take an interest in this.
Sure. Here's a rewritten version of your text, keeping the intense emotion and drama intact while improving the flow and clarity. Chris Eubank Jr. is facing intense pressure to cut weight ahead of his upcoming fight. A move his father, Chris Eubank Sr., believes could be life-threatening. Eubank Sr. has fiercely criticized the idea of his son coming in even a pound under 160 LEBs, calling it completely unacceptable. He's not just worried, he's furious, recalling tragic incidents in boxing history where extreme weight cuts led to devastating consequences. Eubank Sr. believes this isn't just about boxing. He suspects Conor Benn might...
You can't fight someone who walks around at 12-3, boiling him down to 160. Before, you would have fought him at 157. He would have lost his life that night, which is why that fight didn't happen, and why it's being boycotted. Whoever's giving you this view that you have, you've discarded your entire career for Chris Eubank Jr. Who is that? Is it just your dad who wants to win over me? Or is it someone else in your team? Who juiced you up if you were juiced up?
Be driven by a personal vendetta, trying to avenge the past defeats of his own father at the hands of the Eubank family. But in Eubank Sr.'s eyes, Ben should be focusing on his own career, not using his son as a pawn in an old rivalry. He didn't hold back in his accusations, calling out Ben, promoters, and management for prioritizing money over a fighter's safety. He's adamant he won't let his son be sacrificed for the sake of a spectacle. This isn't just protective instinct. It's rooted in real trauma. Eubank Sr. has witnessed the brutal side of boxing up close and knows how fast things can spiral. While some might see him as overreacting, his outrage comes from genuine concern. To him, this fight doesn't just threaten his son's career.
Second press conference, you basically threatened Nigel Benn. Said if he did that again, you deal with him. And
it wasn't a threat, it was a promise.
Oh, it's not a promise, is it?
You can't touch
scumbag.
You can't.
What we did.
You can throw an egg in his face, and his father can't.
No,
me and him are fighting.
You're just upset.
Me and you are
fighting.
fighting.
Can't stand you.
I'm
My
not
dad has
upset.
my back. You are. That's all.
I'm not upset.
My dad put.
Me and you are fighting. Whatever happens between us.
My dad would put his arms around you. What are you going to do about it?
No one else.
Tell me.
No one else can touch me.
Tell me.
If they do, there'll be consequences.
Oh, consequences to what?
If anyone else
slap you right now.
If anyone else touches me.
What if I was slap you right now? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, go on, go ahead.
Yeah, talk about my dad.
It could destroy his future. Things got even more heated when Eubank Sr. warned Conor Benn's father not to lay a hand on him again, hinting at serious consequences if he did. The threat only stoked the already burning tensions, sending Conor Benn into visible frustration. On a recent appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored, Ben didn't hide his anger, expressing his irritation over the entire situation and what he sees as needless drama fueled by the older generation. What started as a rivalry between fighters has escalated into a war between two families. Eubank Jr. may still hold respect for his father, but the tension between them is undeniable, affecting both their personal bond and Eubank Jr.'s professional outlook. Still,
Invite him when you spoke to him.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said the fight isn't going to happen.
Why not? Why does he feel that way?
Your guess is as good as mine, buddy. It's it sounds crazy, but at the same time, he said the same thing before the last fight. So it's like I can't even call it crazy now because it did happen.
Despite the public clashes, there seems to be a quiet hope for reconciliation, though it's clear that road will be anything but easy. When asked about the upcoming April 26th fight and whether his father would be there, Eubank Jr. gave a candid and emotional response. "I'm not confident of anything," he admitted, "but I will try my best to get him there." Pressed on whether he had invited him, Eubank Jr. revealed that he hadn't heard from his father since a pivotal moment, leaving the future of their relationship, like the fight itself, hanging in the balance. Absolutely. Here's a polished and dramatic rewrite that keeps the emotional stakes high and the intensity sharp, while tightening the flow. Chris Eubank Jr. confirmed he had reached out to his father, but the response...
Mr. Hearn from last week.
What does it matter what I think? I always think Mr. Hearn comes across as a balloon, but what can I, a lot of people don't. So
is that £1 million in escrow? That's a heavy old
first
bet,
of all,
£1 million,
first of all,
7 figures.
I don't care. I don't mind Eddie. I don't mind anyone. I just get on with the business. I think people want me to get in a fight, and I think I see a lot of people.
He got was anything but supportive. In a blunt, emotionless statement, Eubank Sr. flat out declared the fight wasn't happening. It was a cold dismissal that laid bare the deepening divide between father and son. For Eubank Jr., the lack of support is both baffling and heartbreaking. Despite his efforts to keep his father involved in his career, Eubank Sr. remains firmly opposed, driven by his deep fears over the fight's dangers. Eubank Jr.'s emotional turmoil is palpable, torn between his desire for his father's approval and his own need to step into the ring on his terms. Meanwhile, promoter Ben Shalom isn't mincing words. To him, this isn't just another fight. It's a...
So, I think the difficulty for Conor Benn in this fight is the weight and is the size. I think he's a better fighter. And I think at a natural weight class, he's a big favourite in the fight. But coming up 2 weight classes, it makes it a 50-50 fight. And
War. Strip away the titles, the media build-up, and what you're left with are 2 men forged in fire, heading into a no-holds-barred battle on April 26th. There will be no cautious opening rounds, no slow tempo. From the first bell, it's chaos, it's personal. These aren't boxers looking to outpoint each other. These are warriors aiming to finish the other. The energy will be relentless, the pace unforgiving. And the real question is, who cracks first? Eddie Hearn, ever outspoken, has his own warnings, this time for Conor Benn. While Benn is a beast in the ring, known for turning fights into pure carnage with his unrelenting pressure, Hearn acknowledges the danger he's walking into Benn. His moving up...
Tough man. And Conor Benn is an animal with a hot head. And as soon as that bell goes, you've only got to watch Nigel Benn's fights and Conor...
Not 1, but 2 weight classes. That changes everything. What he lacks in size, he makes up for in ferocity. But against a naturally bigger man like Eubank Jr., that may not be enough. Power, reach, physical strength, and endurance. Eubank Jr. has the edge in all of them. This isn't just about who hits harder, it's about who controls the chaos. Benn's signature style, charging in with explosive speed and throwing bombs from the opening second, has overwhelmed opponents in the past. But against a larger, more composed fighter, that same aggression could leave him wide open. One wrong move, and it could be lights out. This fight isn't going to be decided on the scorecards. It's a thriller.
Fired on.
Conor's his dad's son, and his dad's exactly the same. And the Eubanks and the Benns, they know each other's strengths and weaknesses. And so there'll always be that family rivalry going on. And so, Chris's aloof personality, riles Conor, like his dad did, their dads did.